I'm just gonna try the Jets out a little bit. Didn't really. I played with them online before, but I took out Garrett Wilson.
Let's go. Hut, hut. Set. Set up. Ready, ready. Go. On the set. Chap, check, chap, check. 18, Pioneer. Ready, ready. Ready. Hut. Let's go now. Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready. Here we go, here we go. Let go.
4-3.
Come on, set. Ready. Here we go, set. Rig alert, rig alert. Nineteen tight, hut, hut. Set, ready. Get up.
Damn. Nice fucking throw, man. I played with worse quarterbacks, and they didn't throw it as bad as that.
Get up. Ready, ready.
I don't really have guys that
ready.
are probably good after the catch. My best receiver is Alan Lazard. After that, it's fucking Malachi Corey, Xavier Gibson, and then I have to put Conklin in there, which I do anyway in most teams. That's where you put the starting tight end at number 4 usually.
Go. Ready.
4-3.
Let's go. Let go. Ready. Ready.
Whoa. Okay.
Hut, hut.
The baby that passed to get it perfectly.
Ready, ready.
Right.
60 Eagle, 60. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
I never tried
Hey,
this
smash.
before.
Get up.
I was like, oh, that looks too
Ready,
good.
set. Go.
Not really actually giving it to me. I mean, it's Tyrod Taylor. He's probably gonna fuck.
Ready. Ready, ready. Let's go now. Hut. Here we go, here we go.
You know where to go with the ball, and you know it's Madden zone. You know where you're gonna. You have good
Ready?
play calls. I'm not saying it's good play call. It's a decent play call, but like I said, if
Come
you
on,
know what the
set.
defense is in, and you have your matchups against man and zone, have your blocking adjustments. You know what I mean?
Set, go.
Doesn't really matter. Just trying to possession catch, but it's too late.
Here we go, set. Ready?
I might try a rack.
Set. Ready?
Okay, we got 43 defense.
Hot, hot.
What they're gonna do? They're either gonna stay back in coverage or blitz, and if they blitz, we're not really worried about it.
Ready? Set up.
That's for example, like I don't really do this, but pre-snap, you would think like, okay, how many guys could possibly stop this screen? Well, when you go up against a great defense like the Ravens, the Bucks, great defenses that are smart. The elite D line usually it's a D end, D tackle, but if it's not the D line, I mean, look at this. If nobody from the D line is gonna you know stop this screen or slow it down or anything, like look at this. He's staying in there right in the middle, and he's going out to play a curl flat. But because it's like a deep defense, they're playing really soft, and we don't have like a receiver on that side or a receiver running, into that zone. Their first initial movements are gonna be to just go out and just play that immediately. So you get this like, you know, you get this look at the defense just playing way back against the screen here. And at that point, it's just using your blockers. And, you know, if it's thrown out in front, it wouldn't have slowed me down, but ooh, okay. Sometimes you don't need to motion somebody all the way out.
Go street.
So they could either be blitzing. Could this be a? Do they have? First of all, do they have the front that it could be a
Check smash. Check smash.
4-4 split and run the engage 8 or whatever? Yeah, I think it is. So if there is a
Go.
possibility of that, but you see, it's not. There we go. They were either
Set up.
going to be in zone or a blitz. It was zone. It was one high. Ended up being a cover 2 invert because the safety comes down. You get that, triangle right there. Cover 2. You got, avert. The safety was playing vertical read or whatever. So I mean, in this play, right, I'm usually going to this, checking the flat, and then I believe I don't ever look at this because it's just like most defenses are going to take it away. And if it's man coverage, right, it's going to be a great corner. And so I'm really going to it late. So the only defense this route could really beat is like maybe quarters or like man, like cover zero, cover one man maybe. It all depends where the safety help is. But let's say this is cover zero. Well, it wasn't cover zero because it's zone, but if it was man coverage, they'd be sticking with us, and this would be my last read, my progression, because it is, to be honest, the longest read, the longest route on the play, longer developing route. So that's why I never read it because I expect there's certain play calls where like you want a certain sense of urgency, but depending on your opponent, like if they use a rush or they play more coverage, like you can read out more. But for the most part, you know, against a regular defense, against a regular front, regular rush, you want to like with this play at most maybe have 3 to 4 reads on this play. So the flat, the running back, and then you go into the middle. So you could say I'll give you an example. So if you're like a newer player in the game, I don't really do this, but if you're a new player in the game, and I should do this to make it simpler, let's say your flat is your first read, right? You could literally read when they tell you to read one side. I don't know if they're meaning like to read literally like the field on one side or to read each read on one. I'm pretty sure they mean to read each read, right? But let's say you're not sure. Let's say you know it's zone, or let's say you're not sure. So you want to like take a peek at all these guys' movements because you can see everybody bailing, right? You can see he's bailing, they're getting into their zones, and basically whenever it's zone and you have a play that can basically, flood the zones or go into every area, go into a flat, go into like a deeper sideline throw, going deep down the middle, like obviously, you can just see like, okay, these two look like they're covering that. And then you have him here. But what I would say is you can read both of these routes at the same time. You could be like, okay, I don't like either of these. Or you could say, all right, third or fourth down, short down distance. Okay, we're throwing this flat. Okay. Sometimes though it's tough because let's say you're just somebody like me who just wants to like stare down this flat, right? On a short down sometimes. Um, let's say they do give you this look where they're backing up and you're staring this down, so you're not going anywhere else. You're not going here. You're not even looking here. You're not even looking to the middle, and you're just staring down this flat and just reading this defender, right? So this defender could be, or let's say nothing else is open on the play, and you're reading this defender, and you're like, he's probably going to come down in a flat. I just, from a lot of experience, it's like, oh, they like to like play deep, and then they like to what you call it, switch the route to the next defender, and then they're going to come down and play this. But you know, here you can see like if you go off of it and everything else is covered, you might miss this or something, or you're staring this down, and his first initial movements tell you like, okay, he's backing out, but you just think that it's going to be covered. So it's like sometimes you might go through your reads too quick reading this defender, or you might uh, like you might stare it down too long and miss. You can basically miss opportunities. Basically depending on what you do with your reads, how long you're reading a read. If you're going through it quick or taking too long on a read, so right here you could say, okay, we know what we got, right? We got this high-low like drag and dagger here in the middle. Sometimes, like I said, guys, what do I say? Something you're not sure, read the middle of the defense. You read the middle of the defense. I mean, look at the wide open hole here. You can either go here or you could go right here, right? So there's a lot of ways you can go through reading a defense post snap. When you're not sure of yourself or you weren't really able to get a good tell from your opponent's defense. But this is where I also say try to read as much information from your opponent's defense. So basically, you say like, okay, we motion somebody across, nobody moved at all to indicate a zone or maybe it was a all-out blitz, and then we told ourselves, oh, is does this have the possibility of being in this coverage or this blitz? Like like I said, there's only so many defensive formations that can play certain coverages or blitzes and cover certain areas of the field. 4-4s, if they're going to be in a pass defense, they can only defend so much, right? They have that one high look. They have a big front. They show a big front and they have one high look, and that's basically how they're going to defend. They're going to defend mostly with, um, you know, deep thirds, and if they are in one high and it's not deep thirds, um, you know what I mean? It's not cover three. Then the other thing that they can do is They can be in a cover three blitz or they can be in a cover two invert. So you got to ask yourself, okay, does this defense have a cover two invert in it? Does this defense have an engage eight? Well, we know most defenses don't have engage eight. Like we know maybe like a lot of base defenses, 4-3, 3-4, uh, 4-6, 4-4 split or whatever. They have like basically the uh, the base defenses have the bigger fronts have that engage eight blitz, but there's a lot of defenses that don't, and there's a lot of defenses that don't have a um, cover two invert, or there's a lot of defenses that you can just tell like, okay, they're in this front, they're in dollar. Dollar's not good against the run. 4-6 not good defending the pass. Um, you know, nickel mug, you know, might not be good to stop the run. Nickel mug only has these blitzes, only have these coverages, so you can kind of, you know, select certain plays or use certain routes in your progression depending on what the defense formation is in, and you can high-low defenders because you think like, okay, a 4-4 can only defend, you know, certain areas of the field. They can only defend like the sideline, the flats. They're weak in the middle or something like that. You know, I'm not like the deep middle, or you know, you could attack deep down the field more against a 4-4 if you have the protection. You know, the only heavy blitz that they're ever going to have is like, you know, a uh, the free safety, like the cover zero blitz with a I believe it's a free safety blitz. And then there's the engage eight. There's not really, you know, many ways that they can send, you know, more blitzers than you have, you know, blockers. So for the most part, if they're not sending a blitz, you block it up, you can attack down the field. Is what I mean. Like right here, because it's cover to invert, they got that post covered, and this is open. But you can also see cover to invert is given up. Like no matter what defense the 4-4 is in, whether it's like a cover zero, free safety blitz, uh, engage eight, cover three blitz, cover two invert. There's areas on the field where you're gonna just be able to exploit. You're gonna be able to have like the deep middle wide open, the short middle wide open, the sidelines open. Like you're gonna be able to find a place on the field wide open, and it's not necessarily because they might be blitzing. It's just because how limited they are, because they're putting like they're giving you more of a bigger front. They're giving you the look of a bigger front, so they can't really like match up because they're in the box. You know, they're basically on the line of scrimmage instead of being, you know, out more. And there's less DBs, obviously. That's what when you could play a game against a computer online opponent, you can feel confident. Say, if I do everything right pre-snap, and you know, I do everything right pre-snap, and I pick good plays, and I study my opponent's tendencies, and I, you know, make them defend everything, and you know, it's really going to be hard, you know, and then you have that same mindset on defense. It's just gonna like understanding a plan of attack on both sides of the ball. You know, uh, thinking outside the box, whatever. You know, thinking, you know, having your plan of attack, but thinking like your opponent on both sides, like the way you're gonna attack offensively, and think, okay, this I'm showing them this. How might they defend it? And sometimes you're not really doing that. Sometimes you could overthink yourself. You know, oh, it's this down in distance, or you're gonna play the flat. Maybe I'll take a peek, and maybe I'll completely cancel it. You know, you might overthink and end up costing yourself games.
Travel west from Midtown Manhattan through the Lincoln Tunnel to the Jersey side. It's MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Here's the veteran Greg Zuerlein as we are ready to start. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. He'll take it in at the goal line. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. First play from the 25, and they'll throw. Hit as he threw it. The pass is incomplete.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10.
Hey, middle.
From the gun, Jackson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Pressure certainly impacted the quarterback there. Couldn't get his arm all the way through, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast, and tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey, all game long today, you better defend every blade of grass because we're coming out firing. And even though that ball falls incomplete, it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds.
Great run after the catch in the open field. A pickup of 24. In motion comes Andrews.
No, we changed it.
To the air one more time with Jackson. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
This is how you draw up your opening possession when you're on the road. The longer the drive goes, the quieter the crowd gets. Continue to mix in that run game. Let's see if they can finish off by putting this ball in the end zone.
Play action now. Jackson.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good game.
2nd down and 3. They'll run it with Henry. And he's into the end zone. Derrick Henry. Touchdown, Ravens. Exactly the way they scripted this one. A beautiful opening drive, Greg. Able to find the end zone on the game's 1st possession.
And, Mike, the word that comes to mind looking at that drive is execution, and that's exactly what they talked about all week long. They wanted to come out early in this game and establish an early rhythm, and that's exactly what they did with that touchdown drive.
So the lead stands at 6-0 as this one is kicked off. Well, a big play there, and maybe a big break, too. The ball going out of bounds so they keep possession and keep a little bit of this momentum going, Greg.
We see this across the league so much now, Mike. Defenders are getting so good at ripping that ball out. Unfortunately for them, in this case, they got the ball out, but it ended up going out of bounds.
On the go.
Here's 1st and 10.
Cowboy 80. Go. Ready, ready.
Right to the air, it's Taylor. That's to the running back, Breece Hall. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
A throw right side is intercepted. It is picked off by the rookie safety. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Well, that's the fast start they talked about all week, Mike. You come out, you take the immediate lead with your opening drive. Your defense goes out there, they force a turnover early. All these plays allow you to just keep stacking momentum early in this ball game. This game is far from over, but anytime you get out to a start like this, it is a lot harder for your opponent to battle back.
16-yard pickup on that one. Good for a Raven 1st down.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, his offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first.
He's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down. We are through 1. It's the Ravens out front. We're back to upstate New York in just a moment. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. The 2nd down throw is incomplete.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
3rd and long for Jackson. And that is incomplete.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
That is not going to do it. Tried to bite off a lot with that one. It's no good. And this is going to remain a 1-possession game. 1st and 10.
70 Lions.
Taylor. Open man downfield is Conklin. What a connection. He's down inside the 5-yard line. So after the big play to start, now we have 1st and goal.
Ready.
Back to throw is Taylor. That is caught. What a job to keep the play alive. Tyler Conklin. Touchdown, Jets. Greg Zuerlein now for the point after. The kick is good. And the Jets will go up by a point here in the 2nd quarter. So after the touchdown at the other end, Zuerlein is out to kick this one off. Hardy now with the return. Now an opening past the 30. And they will finally track him down, but not before he takes this to the other side of midfield.
And that right there is how you regain momentum. You just gave up the lead, but now here comes a huge boost by your special teams. Just an excellent return. Going to set them up with great starting position on this next drive.
On 1st and 10, Jackson. That's caught. Derrick Henry. And they'll take this down inside the 35. On the option, they give it to Henry. And he'll bring this inside the 30. A gain of about 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Now Jackson. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down. 2 minutes to play in a tight one-point game in this first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this. So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long.
13.
Jackson looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate. Every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes, so give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on 4th down. Now, Jackson. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Hassan Reddick. And the Jets are going to get this back at their own 34-yard line.
Every once in a while, Mike, you see a quarterback predetermined before the snap where they're going to go with the ball, and I think that was the case here. He told himself, I'm throwing the ball to him no matter what, and it ends up being a costly mistake.
Set to go now on 1st and 10.
Ready?
They'll send him over to the left.
Ready?
Here's Taylor. Now he'll run it.
He tried to buy all the time he could, but when he saw that space, he quickly turned from thrower to runner, and he's able to pick up a nice gain on 1st down.
Viking 18. Cougar 19. 70 Timberwolves. 60 Mavericks. 60 Mavericks. Let's go.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. That's a short one taken in by Conklin. He is knocked down hard. Wow, they stopped him in his tracks, but he does have enough to pick up the 1st down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
This one caught by Lazard. And he is out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. A dive and a catch. Incredible. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
Bronco 80. Set up. Set up.
Taylor looking to throw. He'll find Hall out of the backfield. And now flags fly as a gain of about 4 could be negated. Down at the 12. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. 60 vices. 60 vices. Go.
Now Taylor gets that one to the veteran Lazard. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4.
Ready, right?
Throwing, Taylor. He's got it at the 3. To the goal line and in. Xavier Gibson. Touchdown, New York. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. The kick is good. And the Jets will take a 14-6 lead. Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Hardy now with the return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over.
Forward.
They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look.
Ready.
They do try to run it out as they start on the ground. Past the 45. Derrick Henry. And he is gone. 76 yards. Touchdown, Baltimore. Well, that's a way to start a drive. He takes it all the way to the house. I don't know what they were talking about on the last series, but they've come out on this series, Greg, with the right answer for the touchdown.
And, Mike, the reason a lot of teams start off drives with the run play is to allow themselves to operate ahead of the chains. Well, not this guy. He found the alley, he took it, and he's off to the races for 6.
They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. Set to return is Xavier Gibson. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive.
On the ready.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10.
Back.
They motion the slot man left. To throw is Taylor. And he's not going to be able to get away. Good defense on the perimeter. It'll be a loss of yardage.
It almost seemed like the defender was getting the play call sent into his helmet, just like the quarterback, because he knew the play before they even snapped the ball, and that play had no shot.
Set up. Hurt.
Conklin goes in motion.
Ready.
Back to throw. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And he's out of bounds, up beyond the 40-yard line. 23 yards on that pass play. Good for a Jets 1st down.
Go. Panther 60. Panther 60.
Slot man in motion left.
Let go.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end. Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. Likely going to play a big role in who wins this one. Certainly a tightly contested first half, and you'd expect more of that here in the second half. A one-point game as quarter 3 begins.
Ready up. Let's go. Ready.
The drive begins with a run, and it's hauled. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5.
Hut, hut.
Quick throw here is complete. A gain there of 16 yards. And the Jets have a first down.
Ready. 19 Tiger. Ready. Hut.
Now they'll set up to throw. Quick throw, taken in. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. So they come to the line for first down and 10.
60 Eagle. Ready.
They'll give up the middle with Hall. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Hawk 70. Let's go now.
Blitz coming. He'll throw it. This one caught by the back out of the backfield. And he will score. Touchdown, New York. Now Zerline for the extra point. He's got it. And the Jets extend the lead to 8. It's 21-13. So after the touchdown at the other end, Zerline is out to kick this one off. A couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. Three tight ends in the game to start the drive. On first down, they'll start the drive with Henry. Up the sideline to the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the Ravens' 38-yard line. A big play and a much-needed one as well. 36 yards. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. Going to go right back to Henry. He's got space inside the 25. And he's got another one. Derrick Henry. Touchdown, Baltimore. That is his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. Now the Jets going to use the first of their timeouts. Big play out of the running game as the back accelerates all the way to the house for the rushing touchdown.
And Mike, when we talk about burst, that's what we're talking about. And they told us all week, be ready for this guy. He's got something special to him. And that long touchdown there is exactly what they're talking about.
So back to level after the touchdown. And time for the kickoff. Panay Wanwu now to return. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll come up here 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. That's to the right side. He's got Corley. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
Cowboy 80. Come on.
Now, faking the give. A throw left side taken in by Corley. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
Jack. Go.
Taylor. And that'll be incomplete on what turns out to be the final play of this third quarter. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Ready? 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal.
Conklin goes in motion. This complete to Corley. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. Third and a yard. Back to throw is Taylor. Open man is Lazard. He's got it. And he's in. Alan Lazard. Touchdown, Jets. Extra point try now for Zurlon. He's got it. And the Jets go up by 7. 28-21. So the lead is 7 now. Here in this fourth quarter, the tie has been broken. Let's see what happens on this kickoff. This is taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
Well, a really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up first downs without having to get to third down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
It is 2nd down and 5. They'll go again here with Henry. And he'll get this close to the first down. It's a pickup of 4, but it still leaves 3rd and short. Henry. He will have a Ravens first down. They get 5 on 3rd and 1. Here's Henry. And he lowers the shoulder. A gain of about 3. Here's 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. In trouble. Down he goes.
That's a prototypical coverage sack. All 11 guys on the field doing their job. Starts with sound back-end coverage. Nowhere to go quick with the ball. The quarterback has no chance but to extend the play. Look for something late developing downfield. That was all the time this front needed to chase him down and bring him down for a sack.
On 3rd down, Jackson. A deep shot for Aguilar. And it's a touchdown. They have gotten to within 1, and a 2-point conversion can give them the lead here in the final minute. Big moment here for the Ravens as they will go for the 2-point conversion. From the gun, Jackson. That is incomplete. Give them credit. They were going for the win, but it remains a 1-point deficit. So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. Gibson now on the return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line.
Get it.
Slot receiver headed right. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. Look at him move away from a tackler as he winds up gaining 7 yards. Nice run there.
Ready, ready.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go.
Go.
They'll go again with Hall. And nothing on that one. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
What makes great linebackers stand out from the pack is their instincts and their vision. In this case, the linebacker has his keys, brings him right where the ball is going, and he's able to make a play at the point of attack and keep this to a no game.
Ready, break.
They'll empty out the backfield and line up for 3rd and 3. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
On the set.
The offense not coming off the field, and here's 4th down.
Hey. Street.
Conklin goes in motion.
Check go.
Here's Taylor. That is incomplete. They took a chance throwing it on 4th and short, but not to be, and they'll turn it over on downs.
You give your offense a chance to close this game out. If they pick up the first
Must
down,
be a kid.
this game is over. But now, after the defensive stop, we're starting to see some signs of life on that.
Because you set your profile on private. We're live, by the way. Only play with the worst team and backups.
13, 13. Hands up. Sit up.
Now Henry.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support.
Like I said, guys, no respect. Anything to win. Stretches, spam stretches. I wasn't even trying to stop it, and he knows it. Undefeated in tournaments. Don't try in these games.
Here comes 2nd down.
Sit up. Go ahead. You. Sit up.
From the shotgun, here's Jackson. Backs to the sideline. It is intercepted, but I don't think he's able to stay in.
Like I said, guys, I don't care about wins or losses, but
It
wow.
is incomplete. Very nearly a turnover.
And in this situation, Mike, with time running down, an incompletion here is not the worst thing in the world. Remember, you're already well within scoring range.
Go back to
Now you're
doing
just
you.
trying
Go
to
back
get
to
as
being the
close as
savage.
possible.
So-called
You can't
savage.
take a sack, and
Yeah,
of course
that's
you
right.
can't turn it over. So if it's not there, just throw it away.
So out comes a guy who's been here before. Big spot for Justin Tucker. This a potential game winner. This one is hooking, and he missed it.
Oh, yeah, he's a savage. He don't care like us, too.
And that may have just written a finish to this one.
No respect. I'm not saying because he missed that extra point. 99.9% of players have no respect because they don't play the game the right way. You saw how I was able to execute. I executed with trash because he wasn't set, kept audibling. I kept doing my part pre-snap. No respect. Savage my ass. I want your name to fucking
Now
mean
a first
something.
and 10 from the 38-yard line.
Ready?
We're going to start this drive on the ground. It's Hall. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down.
Undefeated in tournaments, never quit a game in 22, 23 years playing online.
So this one in the win column for the Jets. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, got a few more defensive stops than their opponents
Guys,
did.
this is why
That
I
is
am
the
a
difference
so-called
in this
bad
one.
winner and sore loser.
And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
Fucking
It's a
Tyrod
win
Taylor
for
out
the
here.
Jets as we say
Tyrod
goodbye
Taylor.
from MetLife
My God.
Stadium.
I got picked off the first time, one time all game, because I went to a corner route that I got picked off basically in practice too. My God, that's terrible. Think I'm gonna play with Aaron Rodgers? Right here. I mean, if I have a decent quarterback, this is thrown like this is thrown towards the sideline. And what happens here? Fucking look at this. I can't complete a 20-yard throw? It's like holy shit. Tyrod Taylor, come on. This was the first bomb right here. I say read your opponent's first initial movements. We got one high. And look, his first initial movements stays with the corner. His first initial movements leaves. Basically, he's wide open, hole shot right here. I mean, those are the biggest wide open hole shots. No, I'm just saying, finally. Right here, I was like, okay, I know I could throw him open here. Because first of all, I'm running towards my target. And, you know, that's going to be better. Throwing on a run is going to be a little bit better. You know, it's a little bit better than throwing on a run, but regardless, I'm running towards my target, and I use a low pass right here. You use a regular pass, this is tipped, intercepted, because you could switch to him. You could, well, let's see where he switches. See? He would have picked that off if we throw that straight. No low pass here, picked off, tip, drop, all those things. Tighter, it's a tighter play if we keep that pass. If we keep it like the way it was going, if we put it in front of them, you know, most defenders on the Ravens are making that ball come out. Well, I don't know who the hell Kane is, so. I knew this is why I say yeah, a lot of opponents will blitz and see, oh, can they beat the blitz or not? Like, look, I have the worser team by far on both sides of the ball. I took out the only elite players I had, Sauce Gardner and a D tackle. And this is why I say it wouldn't have mattered if I played a better opponent, because offensively, I would have had the same. This is how you can be you guys saw, if you, if I had played this game with him audibling like that constantly, and I don't do anything pre-snap, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I get worried because I don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm not reading it. I'm seeing him making moves. I'm seeing him use her as safety. I'm seeing him going from too high to one high. I'm seeing him looking like he's man, then changing the zone, or zone, then changing the man. Maybe sending a blitz or whatever. And if I don't do anything pre-snap, if I'm not actually reading what he's doing, if I'm not looking to see where my matchups are, I'm in trouble. He's adjusting, and you're not. You're in trouble. So I was able here to take advantage. I mean, he should have known, when you're fake blitzing to either stop the run, but you're usually fake blitzing to getting some blitzes there. So me, I would have audibled my play if I was him to a spacings concept and just read the right side of the field because, to be honest, it is a 3-by-1. So, I mean, it wouldn't make sense to just. You could take a peek to the tight end and see, okay, do they have safety help or not? Well, when you're, fake blitzing, they're late. You could say, I mean, if this is a post, you could hot route a post here, and then you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna take a peek at these guys' first initial movements. Are they staying shallow? Boom, I got the seamer post. Instead, he kept the route as a corner, and let's say he, you know, looked to the to see if he had the corner pre-snap, right? I mean, as soon as he snapped the ball, and then when he goes to look to the right side, he now sees, the blitz here, and doesn't really have anything. I'm not gonna lie, right here, whoever this is ran a great route because looking at this, I thought he was gonna do this and run out like a whip route to the outside. But not only this, I mean, I was able to get the blitz in because, this ain't a good play in my opinion to go through your reads against this blitz. It's just not because whether you high low here, like you could say, yeah, you could high low with the tight end and running back here, you know, and know like okay, um, if it's not man and it's zone, most zones are gonna play back here off, and they're not gonna like. It would have to be some kind of hard flats here, you know. How many people are gonna run this fake blitz with, cover 2 hard flats or something? Maybe a cover 3 hard flat. But yeah, checking the running back, checking the tight end, you say you throw this right now. But at the same time, depending on the situation, you're like, if you need something more than just going to the flats right here, like if it's a big down distance, you're probably not going to this check down here. You say like, and then you don't know that this blitzer's coming if you're just reading the left side or something like that. You know what I mean? So, do I think we have to assume that his first read was his tight end? Because yeah, we have to assume his first reads. Because if he knows his own play, right? Maybe because right here, I'm throwing this right here. Pass lead down. I don't even need a position catch. Pass lead down to 7, and then it's possibly a big player touchdown right here. Maybe he gets tackled based off this. If you throw it right now, he's probably not going to tackle him. But if you wait until like now, probably obviously tackle him, or because he's inside of him, maybe there's like a throw behind him, and then he breaks the tackle from 4. Pretty good tackler though, because I have I don't know, yeah, Reed Jr. is a pretty good tackler, but he's still he could probably break that tackle and go for a touchdown or a big play. But right here, the other thing I forgot to mention, guys, when I look in practice and I watch games, based off your opponent's routes, based off your own routes on offense too, you can use a route that's deeper, right? Like this. I'm sure offenses in the NFL use routes like this, route combinations like these level concepts, where an inside slot receiver here is running deeper than the outside receiver because that can potentially cause a rub play like we see right here. So you don't need to just like call mesh or whatever to get certain rub routes, sometimes rub plays, because sometimes, let's say it's man coverage, right? Let's say it's man coverage, which we know it's not because of our movement everywhere. Uh, let's say it's man coverage, or even zone like this. And let's say he wasn't ever gonna number 7, doesn't get open no matter what. But man coverage, sometimes this will happen too, because you know because of the depth of these routes being run, the slot receiver's route is deeper, much deeper, and I honestly think I would say if it was man, this probably wouldn't happen. Number four probably wouldn't be out of position like this. He probably, if this is man, he's probably like closer, like maybe right here, like where this line right here is, the 20-yard line. He's probably at the 20 instead of like being at the 22. So we're talking about like 2.5 yards of separation right here because he's in zone and because he gets bumped. His route is at the like 18 and he's like, you know, 22. So we're talking about like 3 to 4 yards of separation. So, if if he's reading, basically, long story short, if he's reading right here, like me, if I see this, you see why I was like audibling or trying to adjust when he was trying to like constantly audible, constantly, you know, trying to get me. Me, it was just like, okay, let me read everything. How was the leverages and techniques? Did he leave somebody open? And he left somebody open. I got two big plays. You know, there were times where I checked into a play because I felt like he was maybe coming after me. And whether or not that's the case or not, it's still a good backup plan. Right here, oh man. If he, well, to be honest, I don't blame him for this. But if you're seeing this, it's a crucial situation. Most players are going to back out. I'm not saying all, I'm saying a lot or most players are going to back out their D linemen and over one of these routes here. And then you're just like, if you go to your reads, because right here it's like he just stares them down. I'm no matter what, I'm not staring this down. Like regardless of the blitz or not, man zone, blitz, whatever, I'm not staring this down. I'm reading both of these routes at the same time. So like right now, whenever here's another thing, guys. Whenever you have this much like I don't want to once again I don't want to say play lazy and just like look for this every play or all game long, but look for certain plays like easy plays. Easy plays. So right here, there's nobody covering him, right? So you could say like, oh, nobody's covering him, but he's probably gonna get covered, right? Later in his route or whatever. It's not like he's gonna just be wide open. You could say this isn't wide open, but you can also look at this and say, okay, yeah, hindsight's 50-50, but um, you can look to this like side real quick. What do I say? You could use the first initial movements of your opponent's defense, and say, okay, so do they stay like this? They're staying like this pre-snap, right? Do they stay like this post-snap? Does he like man him up? Does he blitz? Whatever. How does he play? Does he come in here and the safety tries to go out and cover that? You know what I mean? Like, how are they playing? They're basically staying the same. So right here, like, you could throw this out right here, um, and basically it could be like a back shoulder throw, or it's a throw upfield before you get contacted by the safety here. What down was it? Okay, 4th and 18. So I don't, like I said, I don't blame him for that, you know. Um, but at the same time, where are we on the field? Um, what was that? Where are we on the field here? Okay, so the 40. That's tough. Maybe he could have done a better job, like maybe on. Okay, let's look at the 2nd and 6 play here, because he was actually in field goal range, right? Once again. Okay, so regardless, I'm not gonna lie, I'm throwing this right here, regardless of if I'm baiting, if my opponent's baiting me or not, because he's not gonna be able to just, get there. It's 2nd and 6. That's an easy completion right there. 2nd and 6. If it's 2nd and 16, then it's a different story. But we're still in field goal range. You know. So, this is why I say you study your opponent's tendencies, because you see I was blitzing a lot, or blitzing, maybe not every other play or every play, but like every 3-4 plays, or a couple times a drive, So that can be helpful, because you say when your opponents or people say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Well, you can use that against them. You could say in a crucial situation, oh, they've been doing this all game, and I've been showing them that I haven't been able to adjust or you know counter that play on offense or defense. Well, now I'm going to use that against them in a gotta have it situation. Let's say it's the last play of the game. They might go to it. You could take a peek and say, did they go to it? They did. Okay, boom. I convert. I get a first down. I get a touchdown because of what they did. That's like studying your opponent's tendencies, what they like to do in certain situations, how they're attacking you on offense and defense, and if they're keeping that plan of attack because you didn't adjust to being able to, um, you know, you weren't just able to adjust. So right there, my thinking is, I if I'm playing a regular like game where I'm not like I'm going quick, right? I'm probably got the wrong defense that I'm giving them, right? But most people, regardless, you're playing that first, right? And they would have known that. But let's say I don't bring a blitz and I do play that first with like a middle linebacker. Well, now they have more time to go through the reads, and then they hit the other inside, guy or whatever. You Here, I thought it was going to be the play action crossers that ended up being 4 verticals. Well, I like my chances against both 4 verticals or PA crossers, because if they did have PA crossers, the reason I went to a blitz and I pass committed is because they were in the 4th and 18. If it was like a 3rd and 18, a 3rd and 8, maybe they slip in a run with Derrick Henry or run it with Lamar, but I didn't really worry too much about Lamar or him moving up in the pocket, because I did have a blitz here, like running the field in the middle, and I just thought, okay, I just need to. I wasn't even sure if I could get all the way back there, to be honest. You know, let's see. So first initial movement is kind of like a little bit of a slide there, a little movement before I'm able to bail completely. Throws it. Let's see if we have tunnel vision and only on that. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see that. Not expecting that because I didn't do it that much. And you want to do that sprint. Oh, this is me. Okay, let's. Did I look at my clue? Yeah, I did that. Okay. It'll be a long video just to basically go through the highlights here. Pass Allen Lazard here, 22 yards. Obviously, he's my best player in the game, but to be honest, you know, I could have went there I could have went to anybody in these situations. Oh, Allen Lazard was in the fucking backfield. How about that? And this is where I say defenses can only play so much. Or okay, so he was using a linebacker here, and the reason why I go to back set is because I'm reading this post and I'm reading this upfield, like, you know, running back route. And if I had the time and he wants to really sell out to stop that post, I'm going right here. And this was at, like, I believe the end of the half. I'm not sure. Was it? Oh, it was still with enough time. It was at the end of the half, but there was a lot of time left. So, not gonna lie, I didn't need to make that move to get extra yards, but I was confident enough. And I'm surprised Allen Lazard has that ability. Well, when you do a double juke, most wide receivers can do that. Tyrod Taylor. Here we go. Okay, so right here, I'm not gonna lie, this was probably my favorite play all game. No, I would say the other play where they left me uncovered or whatever. But right here, whether I'm reading man or zone, right? I'm going through my reads, and I'm not gonna lie, I get worried here because I know it's the Ravens, and they're matching up, bringing enough to match up with how many blockers I have right now. So I'm getting worried about it, and you know, I'm worried because I know I missed the read here. I know I missed the running back. I know, you know, sometimes when you're just reading the receivers, going through your reads and just reading the receivers and not reading, like, you know, how everybody's playing your guys, you can miss a read right here, a wide open touchdown. Because if I hit this right here before he even stopped, this is a touchdown. The only player who can stop this is Wiggins, number 2. So I could probably make a miss or whatever for a touchdown or whatever, just blow past him. So right here, I'm like, oh, okay, damn. Did a good job covering everything. So whenever they do a good job of covering everything, it's either like cover 2 because, you know, you have certain routes here. So basically my reads right here were, I knew I was doing a good job all drive long, all game long, like being able to adjust him, and I know he was trying to like throw a lot of shit at me. So right here I'm like, okay, I haven't used a play with like a Texas route and a motion like swing here. So I was like, oh, let me check into that. Let me call that play. And then I was like, okay, I don't really use those corner stop routes outside, but it was like, you know, I was basically seeing like reading the crosser and the it's a good play. It's a good play. Reading the crosser, what's his name? Conklin. Yeah, 83. Conklin. So I'm reading that, and I'm just like, let's read it out a little more, because sometimes I read that too quick. I go off of it too quick, so I make sure it's like, okay, so they really did cover him. And right here I'm seeing this, and it's like, I thought he was like a Texas, where forgot like that crossing route by Conklin isn't really a crossing route. It was a Texas, and this was a whip route by Allen Lazard. So man, that's a good one too. But he wouldn't have scored. I think he would have got out 2 or 3 yards. But right here I'm seeing this. It's like, okay, because I had enough time, I was like, let me have one more read here, and it's like I'm splitting everybody. Boom, right here, splitting everybody. Wide open. When I say split everybody, I'm saying like this whip route, you know, gets them away from that. If it wasn't for that whip route, if that's a hit, this is probably a coverage sack, it's a forced throw, a throwaway, whatever. This is a negative play. But because of the whip route, it brings them out of the coverage, and I hold on to the ball for, a few ticks longer and let this play out. Let my route, the whip route, basically, because I knew it was man at this point. Basically, whenever this is why I also say one of my tips is using routes to dictate, like coverage, using routes to dictate if it's man, mostly, usually, post snap. So they took, that was man coverage. After I saw that, like, okay, I'm gonna let this route develop, so take him out of the way, and I know, he's too far out of the play to do anything. So, I mean, he could have, like, if he knows this play, he studies enough formations. That's why I say study enough offensive formations too. You study defensive formations, offensive formations. You're gonna be able to key in plays, and when you're a user and you have nothing to cover, you're gonna be able to, know like, oh, okay, this is that play, this is that formation. They got a corner stop play. I have nothing to cover. Oh, look, let me look for something to cover. Boom, get in that way, picked off. Easier said than done. But that was beautiful after the catch to be able to come back to the ball. And because right here, I thought it was going to be one of those plays. I was late to like use a possession catch. I didn't even think about it at all, because if I do, he does like a dive right at the end zone right here with the ball. Maybe I go down to 1 yard line. So I'm kind of glad I didn't. There's two things. Like, I'm glad that I didn't use a possession catch or thought of it. But then at the end of the day, I do get hit by Alexander Hamilton. No, I get hit by what's his name, Kyle Hamilton, and this could have been a fumble, because this is a backup. This is a wow. He absorbed that hit. I would say it was probably he absorbed the hit because 21 was there too. They were both kind of hitting him, and Madden gave that animation of breaking the tackle. That happens sometimes when both hit you. What was his name? And a half, yeah, for sure. I was like, because a lot of the times, like I said earlier, when he was on offense, you get this ball thrown a certain way behind him. A lot of the times they will break the tackle because they're already kind of in that animation of like kind of turning around to catch the ball. So it's kind of like a spin move without a spin move. He's like spinning backwards to catch the ball, and because of that, kind of allows um, the ability to absorb the tackle and be able to get extra yards. And right here, I'm just like, please keep breaking tackles somehow and get out of bounds, because I had no timeout. I believe 9 seconds left. Okay, we got a play action right here. Obviously, he was trying to do a lot of shit all game long, and right here, I was like, I picked this play because I liked it. I like, if I get a big front, it, and I still run it. Well, it's only a 1 yard loss, 2 yard loss at most. But right here, I saw him backing out, pressing, and I was just like, even though he backed out or pressed, a lot of the times they're pressing to hide something. They're pressing to hide that they were really playing back. So I see this, I look to run it. I'm surprised he was going all the way to look like he was using to go to the pass right here. The whole way. Still, I love that they both. Oh man, I had them all game long. I love that they both, collided with each other. Ah, that's beautiful. And then same thing here. I like to use play action sometimes, and knowing through some of these drives, I was like, his defense is probably tired, right? Because let me use what he was doing on offense against them. So basically, I was putting him in long drives. He was scoring like within 3 plays, right, with the damn stretch, right? Not even trying to defend it at that point, but he was scoring quick on offense within 3 plays, but he was going on long drives. I was making him go on long drives, having a lot of plays. So his defense had to be tired, and we know this because when we score quick on offense and we play, on defense, like our defense gets tired because our offense scored too quick. So I thought that on some of these drives, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna mix it up. Some play action should work out because his defense is probably tired. And when the defense is tired, they're like 70, 80% of themselves. So, what I mean? My offense is, you know, probably tired too, to be honest, if you think about it, because he scored quick on defense. So I don't know. I'd probably give the advantage to the offensive line than the D line because, offensive line are aggressive in play action or when they run the ball. And they don't have to run. They just have to, use technique to get into their blocking stance or whatever, where defenders have to come, with speed, with a lot of power. And right here, I knew right here I was going to get this. It's like there's no defender, I don't care who you have on a receiver. This is the look you're getting. There's no way you cover it. There's no way. And also because he was trying to use a rush on the edge, I was like, okay, if I get a look to where this slant is open, I'm taking it. Nobody in that window, I'm taking it. As you can see, he rushed out of the way, and that's why I said what I said. He gets out of the way, the rest of the guys in the middle are going to try to play the run or get in position or whatever, and I got that. And right here, this is probably the freebie here. So I was like, please snap the fucking ball. Please snap the fucking ball. I'm like, is he really not seeing this? Is he really not seeing this? Because it looked like he was about to get, it looked like right before this, it looked like he was maybe going to get back here, or something was going on, and maybe he tried to audible to his zone to try to cover that regardless. But regardless, you can't cover that unless you're there. I mean, if he goes out, if there's any movement to where he's trying to get there, I'm going off of that. Or maybe I'm looking to it late and seeing if his first initial movement's being late, help me out. His first initial movement's early, helps me out late. He got on top of him late, but there's no movement to get out there at all. If there's any movement at all, like 1 or 2 feet, he's running towards that direction at all before the snap, I'm not even looking at that. But nothing, touchdown. It's a beautiful thing. This is why I say I'm not willing to do this, guys, in regular games. You can see why I'm undefeated in tournaments. So because of a lot of that. And it's not like I did anything to get that, to get him on plate, I could do that a hell of a lot more. You know what I mean? I could literally audible from a certain formation to audible to them being to get out, and they might not be able to sit like a lot of the game, and I could just score every drive that way. But I don't do that. But you bet your ass I might do a little more in a meaningful game. As you can see here, blocking adjustments, holding up. The blocking's holding up, reroutes. Whenever you're going up against a great defense, you want to mix it up. You want to use passes that are like extensions of the run game, screens, RPOs. You want to, like I said, if your opponent's playing aggressively, you want to. This is why there's pros and cons of playing a computer, and there's pros and cons of playing with an opponent. When I'm like this, I rather play the opponent when I'm trying and I'm playing like this. When I'm not trying, I rather play the computer. Um, we're here, enough time to throw. I see the shell of the defense right here. Basically, you can see the shell. Got him there, him there. You know, see how they're playing in the middle here. Looks like cover two invert here, or let's see. I mean, he was really trying to throw everything at me. Like when they're trying to throw everything at you, you just adjust. You just adjust. They adjust, you adjust. Simple. Okay, what happened? Okay, so I had a touchdown. Another sack. So this was later in the game, I believe. What was this? Yeah, fourth quarter. So I was thinking my game plan was like, okay, let's put cover two because I think regardless, early on his drive, I'm like, regardless of whatever, whether he goes to a cover two beater later from a play action or whatever regular pass, we're gonna have time because so we can play cover two his whole drive until he gets to a certain part of the field, and that's what we did here. We played cover two to try to slow down the stretch and just let him work down the field to waste time, right? The run instead of him getting big plays from Henry. And then right here, it was 2nd and 7. We were slowing down the run a little bit. He gets to around midfield, so I'm thinking, okay, let's now play the pass here. Let's not. So I was still bringing like, I believe I was still bringing cover twos here. Um, or I was bringing something else here, and I was like, let me QB contain him, let me pass commit, let me make sure if it's bootleg, rollout, play action, whatever, I have him. You know what I mean? I do remember it was man coverage because I remember I wanted to be able to cover the flat and the crosser, have a better, you know, have a better. I believe I went to cover one. Yes, as you can see here, it was cover one because a lot of the times cover one they will go and play the crosser, like almost double the crosser with the whole defender there. And right here I'm thinking, oh, he might still throw this flat. It is still 2nd and 7. You might still throw it because I mean, I like me. I'm still throwing it 2nd and 7. If I know it's 2nd and 7, I'm still throwing it. If I don't, probably not. But see, like, could have got 3-4 yards right here. Himself in a better situation. Right here, I was like, he ain't throwing it. He's done. He's done. He's not throwing it. He's gonna throw it away or he gets sacked. He got sacked on a play. So now it's 3rd and 11. I'm surprised. Yeah, okay, 3rd and 11. I was gonna say. Okay, so he ended up going to a touchdown. I believe he did get me on a. Yeah, he got me on a that H option play or whatever. You know, the fade, the slot fade route. And I messed up myself. I wish they would have shown that highlight, but you guys saw it. Yep. He missed the field goal on purpose, but he knows. He knows. There is a such thing as a good win. And that would have been a good. I mean, a such thing as good loss. That would have been a good loss. I mean, look at where we are here. We played with the Giants. Basically, the New York teams. Giant, the worst teams in the NFL. The Giants and Jets are both the worst teams in the NFL this year, and they were last year too, probably. I think I'm not sure. So yeah, I still have those losses, but as you can see, my losses were one score: 17-14, 19-15,
and I wasn't trying in those games. 28-27, that's when I lost because I went for two. 22-21, I'm pretty sure I went for two there too.